Hello everyone, it's Aaron again of course, and I just got a new pesting permission. So I want to start this video out by going out to that permission and talk a little bit about the permission I just got, and then I want to come back here and talk to you about, a lot of people have been asking me, how do you get permissions? And this is the first opportunity. I've written some people on how to do it, but this is the first opportunity I've had to actually make a video on the process and how it happened, and actually show you the process in work as it happened on the site. So let's go out there, and I'm going to show you some video of the site. Then I'm going to come back and talk to you about the process I went through, and the things if you are interested, the things you would probably want to take note of, and some of the things you want to have, and some of the strategies you want to use in trying to procure your own pesting site. So let's go out there right now and take a look at that. You guys, this is a new permission I just got, and that's a big one. The farm goes all the way down to that White House you see way down there. There's big grain bins behind these big trees right here. Then there's cows in that barn there, probably about 50. This is the main part of the farm right here. And what happened was I was driving down past this place and I said, wow, look, this has some birds there, and I backed up. And of course, when I backed up, I saw, I don't know if you can see the top of those buildings. There's one bird up there to the left now, one pigeon to the left up there. But that whole top of that building there was full of pigeons. And I said, wow, I've got to come back and see if I can get a permission to hunt this farm. And so I went home and I got some flyers in my car, and I came back. Unfortunately, when I came back, the owner was not here. And so I dropped some information off with the workers and gave my card and stuff, and came back today to speak with him. Okay, you guys, I talked to the farmer, and he said okay. Let me just say though, this has been a process, okay? It wasn't this simple. I finally called him this morning, and met him and met Herm and some of his helpers and stuff here, and he said yes. But I have been out here a number of times. I've talked to everybody out here who works here. They all know me just from my coming out, trying to meet the owner. And finally I met the owner today, and he said yes. But I'm going to take you through a process of how I got this permission. So let's talk about how to get a permission. I'm going to give you my experience of how I've done it, and hopefully this will be helpful to you, and how, if it's something you want to do. A lot of people have asked me about this, and I've commented to them on how to do it, but this is the first time I had a chance to do a video, so let's talk about that. Okay, to me there are 5 things we need to cover here. The first one is identifying. How do you identify a possible permission? Next, what is your capacity? Capacity means how many can you actually do? And then what is the distance you're willing to drive in terms of gas and time that you're going to be spending to get to and from your pesting sites? And then what approach you're going to use in terms of actually talking to the owner and other members of the family if you have to. And then lastly, do you have your literature that you can leave for them? So those are all of the things that we're going to talk about really quickly here, and I'm going to get back to the video of the farm. The first one is identifying. Okay, you got to identify your possible pesting site before you can do anything. Now there's 3 ways you can do this. You can do a web search, and web searches are nice. You can pop it in there under farms and see what pops up, and you can go by and check them out that way. The other one is driving around. You can just go out in the country and just be driving. Whenever you're in the country, you're driving, just look around. And one of the things I like is that all farms have these big silos. If you want to know if the farm is big and if it has livestock, look for these big silos that they have now. Not the old kind, that are the old silos as we knew them, that were just straight up. They have these big metal ones now. They usually might be 2 or 3 in a circle with connecting tubes to the top for feeding the grain in. And then the second one is, of course, to look for the barns where the animals are housed. the last one is referral, and referral is the easiest one. If you can get that, you got a farm, they send you to another one. But those are the approaches you want to use. For me, I like driving around and seeing what's out there. I did do a web search, did identify some that way. But those are the three approaches you might want to use to just identifying what's out there. The next one is capacity. I'm only throwing capacity in here is because my situation right now. I now have 3 permissions. I found it difficult at times to service the 2 during certain times of the year. And now I have a 3rd. But I have a possibility of 2 more. I haven't approached them, but I have identified them. And but I won't be doing any more approaches because I got to make sure I can handle these 3 before I contact these other 2. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do any more than these 3, but we'll see how that works out. The other 2 farms are slowing down. I've knocked the bird population down so well that I'm going there now. It's not nearly the population that it was. This new permission has a ton of birds, as you will see in upcoming videos. So what is the capacity that you have? The next one is distance. How far are you willing to drive? You know, for me it's 15 miles. You know, that's 30 miles round trip. I don't want to go any further than that. And these last 2 that I've identified is just over that. They're like in the 20s miles away. So that's, 20 miles away, that's 45 miles round trip. And how much time is that going to take? How much gas is it going to take? And that sort of thing. So you have to say, okay, what is the distance I'm willing to drive in terms of time and money? The next one is the approach. What kind of approach are you going to use? Now, there's all kind of approaches. You can get a phone number and call them. You can get an email address and email them. You can get an address and you can mail them a letter. But for me, I say no to all of those. You want to use a personal approach. Okay, you want to go in and start to meet people. Now, in the case of this right here, it worked out really, really well for me. It was inconvenient a little bit, but it worked out really well because I had to go by that farm about 5 times before I got the permission. But each time I went by there, the owner was not there, but his workers were. So I got to know the workers. I would talk to them and show them my gun, even let them shoot it. And you want to take a shot? Here, just put the scope right there, okay, right there, and it just go teak. And it sounds like, wow, they don't even believe it has any power behind it. It's so quiet. And you show them this little tiny 177 pellet, and they get to know you, and pretty soon they'll already be talking to the farmer about you before you even get there. You're getting introduced before even getting there because you've already met the people and established a relationship with them before actually meeting them. And this is the case I was in this time. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions, about the farm, about the farmer, about the whole situation there, and to get a better sense for when you do meet him of what his farm and a little bit about who he is. Having that information can really, really be helpful in the conversation once you've gotten there and gotten in front of the actual owner. In this particular case, it worked for me really, really well. And they also gave me an opportunity, as I said, to get to know me. Now the last thing is literature. Literature is very important. Now I have business cards right here, okay? But I also have a flyer that I have to leave in the mailbox. You leave a business card in there, it can get lost. Sit up here. I got a flyer right here. It's just the business card enlarged. And I'm going to zoom in on this so you can take a look at it as I close this out. Just a moment. Okay, as you can see, I start out with the problem statement. Got a problem with pests on your farm? Right away, they got to answer the question, yes or no. And then it says after that, free pest services. And then I go on to explain that the pesting services I'm proposing and actually talk about the actual pests themselves, breaking those down into day and nocturnal, and being able to explain to him that I have the capabilities of doing both. I can come back in the evening and do raccoons and possums and that sort of thing if they tend to be a problem. This is another reason why you really, really want to take into account the distance. Do you want to be driving at night out to a site where you're going to be maybe there from 11 to 1 or midnight to 2 a.m. And then coming back home? How far are you willing to drive for that? So anyway, so this literature is very, very good. I'll bring the camera back in. Okay, so those are the things that you're gonna need in terms of that. But I want to add one more thing to that. Okay, it's very, very important. And that is when you go there, every time you go, take your gun with you and take your pellets with you. For me, the selling point to all of them has always been the 177. Okay, you can pull that. You can pull that gun out, let them see it. If they don't want to shoot it, just aim it up in there and pull the trigger. And I don't know why people associate noise with power, and that's really, really good for us when you're trying to get a pesting permit or to hunt on someone's land. Because if you can pull that gun out and pull the trigger, and they don't hear anything, practically, they associate that with this thing having any power. Can it even kill a bird? And that bodes in your favor. So take that round with you. Also, if you're going to be on a farm, make sure you take with you some non-lead pellets. So if that situation comes up, and it has come up with me, you're going to be shooting around the cows, around the stuff, and livestock and that sort of thing. I always have with me my non-lead pellets. So with that is how I got it. I hope that this information is helpful to you guys who may want to go out there and try to explore doing this sort of thing. So now what I want to do is, I'm very, very excited, you guys, because let me just say this to you. The day that I went and I got the permission to actually have my gun, I did hunting. And I had the greatest time in the world. You're not going to see that in this video. It's going to be in the upcoming video because I don't want to make this that long. But in the upcoming video, I targeted only pigeons. Only pigeons. Just only pigeons. And I shot pigeons all day long. Now, it was in between. They would fly off and fly back, fly off and come back. But I shot pigeons all day long. I don't think I would ever be able to say that again. And another thing you're going to find in this video is that they got pigeons, they got crows, they got everything. And I'm going to be able to take some long distance shots out to 100 yards. So I'll be involved in my impact in this one. And also my P15 25 caliber. So with that, let's go back to a walking tour on the farm. And let me apologize right now before we go on this tour that the wind was really high this day. So you're going to have to, and I've tried to edit out as much of the high wind as I could, so it's going to jump in places. But the reason it's jumping is because the wind was so high. Let's go back out to the farm and close this thing out. You guys, this is going to be a walk around farm. There's no driving here. It's really, really short. It's 3 buildings. There's more building across the way in a field, but it's so tight up in here with people working all around me. It's so tight up in here that there's no way in the world it's going to be like the other ones where I can drive around and try and find the prey. This is going to be let's go walk and take peeks in the buildings. I'm going to give you some perspectives on how I'm hunting this thing right now. Okay, we'll go to the first barn. Now this first barn here, this first one is a small one. And in here, it's nothing but sparrows. They're flying out now. Nothing but sparrows in here. Haven't seen one pigeon. Haven't seen one starling. Might be able to see those up there in the rafters right there. There's 2 up there. You look down there by that fan right there. There's some that are around. They're just all over. And they're not scaring me right now because I'm not shooting at them. They were not concentrating on them at all. So this is the sparrow place, I will call it. I will walk on, and let me just say this, man. This place here is manure. Okay? Everywhere you step, there's manure. So wear your wellies when you come here. For my friends over there in Great Britain in that area. We're looking at it from the perspective of hunting it now. So from here, you would come over here, and you would take a look. You would take a look down here. You check out the rafters. This is pigeon. You're in pigeon and starling country now. Okay. Now, walk on. Now this, I want to show you guys something that I've never seen before. This is nothing but a manure pit. This is really smart though when you think about the design. All they do is push it out of here, straight through the crown of these tracks and into there. Okay, and this big thing here, and same thing here. I know you guys don't like this, but I'm just gonna show you what I deal with. Okay, here are cows. This is what they do. they bed over here. Let me show you how they do it here. Okay, these are my cow buddies. This is the bed there. Okay, this little thing here spins around and scratches them, and you see they don't wore that thing way down. But they sleep there, and they do here. Now this one has been cleaned out, so it doesn't look, it's not nearly as deep as it normally would be. This is where they use the bathroom. And then over here is where they feed. You step up here so you get a better view. Okay, over here is where they feed. The truck comes in and it drops this stuff down along here. And these guys, they eat it. They eat it here. Okay, they expel it here. And they sleep in the bedding that they make for them there. Okay. Now this here, they got a tractor with a big scoop on it that pushes all of this manure, hey cows, out this door and straight into this pit. I mean, they do it in seconds. Then into this pit. I'm not sure how they get it out. I've seen where they had a suction device here. Looking back over here at the cows. Some of the sand they use for the bedding. Going down to number 2 now. Now this building here has its own manure pond. I mean, this thing is big. I don't know if you guys can really appreciate how big this thing. I'm gonna say it's probably at least 80 yards by 50 yards, 40 yards, maybe. Yeah, 40 yards. I'm gonna say 80 by 40, something like that. Might even be 90. Then over here again, we're looking at the cow buddies. In the same situation down here where I just talked about, where they take it here and they push it out straight down here and out into there. All right, now I'm gonna show you how we hunt this place. What I'm finding is, if I hunt this thing from the outside, let's just take a look at that. Okay, instead of going up in the barn, at least until they drop these curtains. They'll be dropping these curtains pretty soon because winter's coming. And this right here, that right there, the curtain and blocks this. But until then, and there are all my cow buddies bedded down. As I talk about the bedding, that's the bedding right there. They lay down there and they chew their little cud and stuff. But across the way, I can do the same thing. I can basically walk over there, so I can take care of both these buildings. I have to watch out, make sure I'm on high ground over here, because out there a lot of drainage comes in, and you can step down into something not very nice, kind of gnarly. So the way I probably do it is walk along this building all the way down, looking for birds, go down to the end down there, where it's high ground again, walk across there, then walk down the path of that one. And that way I'm checking out both, I'm able to take care of both barns without going inside or having to go travel that far to check them out. Now let me show you something else that's down here. Okay, when you get down to the end of this thing, from back there, when you get down to the end of this thing, you step up. Now out there you have that field where pigeons and crows come in. And as you can see, that's the yard time for the cows. They go out there for the yard time. And if you look out there, look at all those crows. I hope you can see them. They're right in the middle of the screen right now. You see them flying in? I got a little phone so I can't tell, but still I see at least maybe 20 crows with more in the trees. See those just flew into the trees? I'm gonna bring the impact out here. I'm gonna range those. And the nice thing about it, when you shoot one of them, if they don't know where the shot came from, the rest of them will mob. I should be able to take out 2 or 3 before they figure out what's going on. That's exciting also. If you look down there, that's more of the same farm. So I'll be able to go down there. That's where they store the grain at. So, and I see a pigeon up there the top of that silo like. And over here is another part of the farm. This is a pretty big farm. We're at the back of it right now. So this is a look at it from the back. So there are targets of opportunity on those trees. There's targets of opportunity where the crows come down out there and feed. This is where the cows range at. And then over here, there's going to be targets of opportunity there too. And those two, that's all part of the farm. This is a big farm. So I'll be able to move around and do a lot. Now we're circling around towards one of the bins, one of the cow, and there are 3. So we have this one here, and over across there, that's where the feed is kept. And right here is another one. So we basically have 3 barns. We have this one here, the one we're walking towards now. And then another one that's just out the end of this little path here, and then over there. So plenty of targets, opportunity, lots of pigeons around. Right now, I just want to concentrate on pigeons. I'm not even messing with starlings or any of the rest of them right now. So another view of this farm. Okay, now we're looking into the second barn, which is a real big one here. And just look at it from the back, because I'm out by the cow field still. As you look around, there are the cow fields. And now we'll walk back towards the other one here. There goes the pigeon right there flying. Walk back here, and that's I see the little dots of some heads of some sparrows up there. But right now, I'm not even concentrating on sparrows. I want to knock out some of these pigeons for them. And I can't wait to come out here and try to get a crow at 100 yards. He's still out there walking around. But we'll go back in this one, take a look at that. These are the 2 big stalls. Over there, like I said, that's where they keep the corn. That is a small one there. Probably be some pigeons up in there. And now we're coming up into one of the bigger ones. This is bigger than the one we just looked at. As you can see, lots of cows. And outside this barn through there is where the pigeons sit out on the water, on the irrigation thing. They love to sit there. And I think we'll have a lot of good opportunities to try to take out some of those pigeons out there. So, all right, let's look at it. That's a tour of the facility. Okay, there it is. How I did it, what the facility is like, how excited I am about hunting there, all the opportunities that I found there, especially with the opportunity to be able to shoot some long shots. I've only seen that. I know the guys in South Africa, when I watched some of their videos, they had birds feeding on the ground out in the cow fields, and I never could understand what birds were doing out there. But at this particular place now, I do understand. They come down, there's grain and stuff that is out there. They'll land to try to find it. And I'm hoping to take out some crows at 100 yards inside, 80 to 100 yards. Got to get that impact ready. Got to get my P15 ready for that, for those longer shots out there. And I'm just happy to have this one. And then lastly, let me just say that I have hunted it, and I'm telling you, it was pigeons. It was so many pigeons that I didn't concentrate on anything else. I didn't shoot any of the starlings. I didn't shoot any of the other things. And in this video here, you didn't see many starlings. You didn't see many pigeons. But let me tell you, in the upcoming video in a week from now, you're gonna see pigeons lined up. You're gonna see starlings lined up, and you're gonna see crows, at least 50 of them in a flock. It's just crazy. So anyway, look for the upcoming video in a week, and I hope you like this video. I wanted to do one for all those people who have been asking, how do you get a pesting site? And I hope this answers your questions. I hope you'll be able to use this information to go out and do some pesting yourself, or at least get some ask in to see if you got there and do it. And I'm telling you, if you follow everything I said, I think you stand a very good chance of getting one. I want to thank you guys for tuning in as always. Thank you guys for subscribing especially. And I want to thank you guys for all of your comments. I really do appreciate all of it. And look forward to you in the next video. Thanks. Keep it safe, guys.